much, y'all, for joining us. Meeting is being recorded. We love to see it. I'm going to hand it over to Beth to do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we've got a pretty quick meeting today, but we really appreciate folks joining in so we can close things out. So Beth, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Just quickly want to get the minutes and recaps for the last two meetings approved. So we'll start with August 6th, the recap. Can I get a motion for approval?
I motion to approve.
Thanks,
This is Lynette.
Thanks, Lynette. And a second?
No. I'll second. This is Becky. Hi, Grady.
Thanks, Becky. I think Grady was trying to beat you to it.
I know he was. I think he won.
All right, now for the August 6th minutes. Motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve, Susanna.
And then a second, please.
This is Ashley. I can second.
Thanks, Ashley. All right, and then we're going to move into the August 14th meeting. A motion to approve for the recap.
This is Lynette. I'll make that motion.
Lynette, and a second.
This is Anna. I'll second.
Thanks, Anna. And then the last one, so the August 14th minutes, motion to approve.
This is Ashley. I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
And this is Lynette. I'll second.
Lynette. All right, Trace, I'll kick it back to you.
Perfect. All right, thanks, y'all. Well, as we mentioned, I think previously, well, couple things. Jordan had her baby this weekend. So for those of you that have been able to, that know Jordan, she had a healthy baby boy and everybody's doing well over the weekend. What was the Brian Benjamin James, I believe was his name?
Benjamin James, yeah.
Benjamin James brought a healthy little baby boy into the world. So feel free to send her a note, and hopefully she won't see it for another few months. And Stephanie, as we mentioned, is on a trip that she had planned a long time ago before our dates were set. So I know she was able to say goodbye at our last meeting. But what we want to spend this meeting doing is, again, it's just a close out. I don't think we're going to be here too long. And for members of the public that might be on the phone, we will still provide public comment at the end. So I just wanted to name that. But really, this meeting is a chance to, one, reflect on where we landed with our votes so that you all kind of understand what's going to be coming to you in the final report. And just as a reminder for our legislative duties are that the report will be turned in October 1st. And this task force will have the opportunity to look at that report ahead of the public release. So the report, in addition to the recommendations that we've all voted on, will just kind of capture the narrative of the process, additional conversations that were brought up, kind of your classic report on a 2-year task force, if you can believe it, that we are wrapping up now. So pretty wild to look at how far we've come. And I was looking over almost nearly 30 meetings in this group. And so we spent a lot of time together, all of it online, which honestly is wild to think about. So we'll definitely, I was going to throw out an invite for those of you local sometime to meet up for a happy hour or something, because I'd still love to connect with a number of y'all in person as we kind of all go back to our other jobs that we have. So just a lot of work, a lot of things to reflect on. And I want to just kind of then be able to open it up to folks to say, what are you most excited about coming out of this work? Or what opportunities do you see? And then, folks can share out or not. And then also just kind of open the floor generally for any closing remarks. And then, Elizabeth, I'm going to tap you, like, obviously, in a little bit, would love to just hear, I know you've shared some in previous meetings, but just obviously want to give you an opportunity to share out as well, because we have just been so honored that you have stuck with us in this work and have showed up for, I think, every single meeting, and just a lot of gratitude there. And so just want to give you the opportunity to share any remarks if you'd like. Send me a note. If not, no worries as well. So any questions there, or Doris, anything I'm missing, or Beth, anything I'm missing before I jump into just the voting piece so that we kind of know where we're at, and then we'll move on. Okay, cool.
You're good.
All right, great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We did have majority on votes, so we are good to go. We won't be chasing anybody down at this point. Just know that if you did not vote, we will make note of that in the report, just because we do want folks to understand that, if there were a number of abstentions, as we know, but if folks just didn't vote, we'll just note that as well. So just as a heads up. So I just want to go through kind of quickly, one, to just reground us and kind of look reflectively of like, this is the product of the incredibly hard work that you all have done over the last nearly 2 years. And so just want to reground us on that, and then we'll open it up. So here are the final voter responses, and just for the sake of transparency, just wanted to bring it straight up from the survey that we received. And so I'm going to go through each of these real quick, and somebody jump in if you have any questions or any comments. But recommendation 1A on creation of a standard statewide information and data collection system. Reached majority, yes. We had, again, 2 of our 3 abstentions fill out the survey, so just know that there will be 3 abstentions noted in the report. We had 1 no here, and then we had the 83% yes on this recommendation. And I also just want to note that for any no comments, like you'll see one here as an example, those will be recorded verbatim in the report as to someone's comment in addition to the vote. So that'll just be like an addendum to the report in addition to that abstention letter. We won't be like summarizing those comments or anything like that. Recommendation 1B, development of standard training for the standard statewide information and data collection system. Again, with the 83.3%, the 1 no, and then we'll have the 3 abstentions. Directive 2, do you support the position of the task force regarding Directive 2? I'm not able to see the breakdown here. I guess, Brian, can you help me out? Why am I not able to see the... Oh, because I can't click into it.
I mean, just below it, it's got the 88.9% yes. Oh, now it's loading. Were you not able to see the pie chart?
No, I can see the pie chart, but I was looking for the summary of Directive 2, but that's okay.
That one was one where we didn't make a specific recommendation, but we still wanted to address Directive 2 as written in the statute. There are 2 that are like that. So that's why the wording is just a little bit different.
No, I know. I just thought the language was brought over. Anyways, okay. So we've got 16%, or sorry, 88.9% yes. And we've got the 3 abstentions. On recommendation 3, define risk categories for children or youth who run away from care. Do you support this recommendation? 88.9% yes, and with the 3 abstentions. So again, that's a full yes on that. No, there were no votes. 3B, utilize and define risk categories, develop standard response protocols for children or youth who run away from care. Yes, 16 out of 16 voted yes with the 3 abstentions. 3C, ensuring diversity, equity, inclusion are considered throughout. Again, 16 out of 16 yes. Directive 4, similar to what Brian mentioned. We have a full 16 out of 16 yes, unanimous. Directive 5, 5A, clarifying the meaning of imminent. Another full yes. Recommendation 5B, clarify a facility's duty to intervene. 16 out of 16 again, yes. 5C, establish a good faith provision for facilities regarding the use of restraints. Again, 15 out of 16 yes, 1 no, 3 abstentions. Recommendation 5D, require parents and caregivers be informed of policies. Unanimous yes. 3 abstentions. Recommendation 5E, develop proposal for short-term stabilization units. We had 15 out of 16 yes, 1 no, 3 abstentions. Directive 6, recommendation 6A, additional assessment of physical infrastructure needs. 15 out of 16 yes, 1 no, 3 abstentions. 6B, require consideration of a placement's physical infrastructure. Unanimous yes, with your 3 abstentions. Recommendation 6C, develop a standard pre-admission risk assessment tool and a post-run recovery screening tool. Unanimous yes, with your abstentions. 6D, create standard education for those providing out-of-home care. Unanimous yes across the board, 3 abstentions. 6E, creating standard education for children and youth regarding the risks of running away from care. Also a unanimous yes. You're seeing a theme here. 3 abstentions. Directive 7, 7A, develop a statewide response unit. 15 out of 16 yes, 1 no, 3 abstentions. And that was the last one. Any questions here before I get out of the screen? David, go ahead.
Trace, if you can click on one of the on that pies again. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm with CDHS. I'm one of the abstentions, but you're saying 3, but there's only 2 there.
Right. So I think there's 3 abstentions. Sorry, I thought I was okay. So there's 3 abstentions total that were included in the letter from CDHS, but only 2 of you filled out the survey. But because we received the letter, we're going to note the 3. So I just was saying, yeah. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I totally got it.
Yeah. Becky.
I think maybe you just answered my question. I was just being a nosy girl. I was wondering, I didn't want to ask anybody who abstained. I wanted to know if you knew reasons why people abstained, and is it because they work for CDHS? Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep, those are the only abstentions we received, just FYI. And they've, just so you know too, Becky, they provided a letter with the context there, which will be an addendum to the report. And that letter will just be like, we'll just share it as we received it. So that'll spell out everything.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, with that, would love to just hear from you all, as you look across all of these recommendations and kind of where we landed. Would just love to hear some reflections, and really would love to open up to folks. Like, what do you feel hopeful about? What are you excited about? What's one that you're like, man, I'm really, really glad we were able to get that one through, or just would like kind of love to hear where folks are at looking at collectively again where we landed. So I'm just going to open the floor up and jump in.
This is Lynette. I sat in a meeting yesterday on the universal pilot referral form for referring for placements, and the discussion is that the top reason for declining placement was elopement. And I'm hopeful that because we're talking about a risk tool and developing some protocols, that placements will feel more supported in being able to take some of these youth and have the next steps. And so I'm hopeful.
Yeah, thanks, Led. Appreciate you sharing that. Ashley, go ahead.
Well, I had the interesting experience last week of talking to some people about legislative stuff. It's that time of year for my particular position. And I said, I'm sure that you'll see stuff coming out of the task forces. I'm on this task force and this task force. And they were like, oh, yeah. But isn't that Timothy Montoya Task Force, that runaway task force? Isn't it just going to be like restrain kids and put in fences? And I was like, whoa, no, not at all. We spent 2 years on this. Not very nice word came to mind.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting, that I think people that weren't in the work were sort of like, they're not gonna be able to do anything. And so I think people are gonna be really impressed with the report and the thought that went into it and some of the ideas. So I don't know, it was kind of fun for me, like, oh no, just you wait. Like we have all
You
kinds of
just hold
ideas.
on.
So I don't know. It was just kind of a funny timing for this wrapping up, but just wanted to give everyone kudos that we did a lot more than just say build a fence. So good job, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. Appreciate that. Dennis is in the waiting room. Sorry, I thought he was raising his hand. I was like, Dennis, what do you want to say? Beth, I think I saw you come off mute. I'll toss it over to you.
Yeah, I think I share with Lynette and Ashley just like the timing of it. We had two major cases last week where it's like everything that we've built out and all the hard work we put in on this task force, like this would be completely applicable to help, some of these cases. So I'm hopeful too. I share in that and excited to see this come to fruition.
Thanks so much. Anybody else want to share? Again, looking at those recommendations, and I know that folks came in.
Hold on 1 second, Trace. It looked like
Yeah.
Dennis came off mute. Did you want to chime in something, Dennis?
Dennis.
No, I was having some computer issues and trying to fix them.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Dennis with a haircut, looking sharp. Becky, you smiled. Go ahead, Becky.
I smiled because Dennis's haircut is sharp. You look good, Dennis.
Looking good, Dennis.
I don't have any comments. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Looking at these recommendations, what are you feeling hopeful about? What are you glad to see came through? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that developing the risk criteria and coming up with that and making plans for youth is the biggest step of all. I really feel that that's way more than fences and the other, and collecting data so it can be refined and improved over time. Without data, we're shooting in the dark. And so establishing that, I think, is a huge deal in Colorado.
Thanks, Lynette. Elizabeth, I know you're not feeling well, so just tell me if you don't want to talk, but I'm curious, when we started this task force, and obviously, from the perspective that you're sitting, I just would love to hear any reflections on looking at the work that this group has developed. What are you, how are you feeling? What are you thinking? Are you feeling hopeful about any of these recommendations in particular, or any other thoughts you'd like to share?
So yes, Trace, I am feeling very hopeful about all the work we've done. And as Lynette said, I think developing that risk criteria and the standardized response is going to be a huge piece of it, because that kind of came out of conversations with everybody that is boots on the ground in this area, working in this field, I think that the short-term stabilization units are a great idea if we can get it off the ground. We've just done so much work, and I'm so grateful to all of you who are in the field, still working with all of these kids every single day, pouring your heart and soul into the work that you do. And I'm just tremendously grateful for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Back at you. We again feel so honored. It's for you to be able to come and share, and be willing to share stories of Timmy's life, and just this task force is part of his legacy, as we said in the beginning. And so just really appreciate your willingness to keep coming back to the table and to push our thinking, and to stick with us. So gratitude right back to you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? I want to kind of broaden we figured we'd have about 30 minutes on the call. Again, we wanted to be able to share just transparently where the votes landed, and then also just give you all kind of a opportunity to share out any closing thoughts. Again, this is a group of very connected people that were connected before this group, and I know that there are some folks that are newly connected, and so obviously the work continues. And I believe the connections will continue, and I hope that our relationships, if anything, are a little bit deeper and more connected now. But just want to open it up for any other comments, closeout comments for this work before we officially sunset the Timothy Montoya Task Force. For now, obviously, we're on until January, legally, technically. So there could be a chance that someone might tap back into us. But yeah, Ashley, and then Becky, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I thought this task group was facilitated really well and run really well. I've been on a lot of groups, and that's not always the case. And so I just want to thank you guys for your work on that, because I think it really makes or breaks how task forces runs. And I've really appreciated how this one has been run. So thank you.
Appreciate that, Ashley. I'll speak for Doris and I on the facilitation piece, and also with Beth and Stephanie and the CPO team, Brian and Stephanie and Jordan. It's been and Addie, been a big team effort. So appreciate the kudos there, because it has been no small task. So thanks so much. And this group honestly has made it pretty easy with your thoughtfulness. So appreciate the love. Becky, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everybody. It's been an honor to be on this too, and I second the facilitation piece. You did a fantastic job, and Trace in particular, thank you.
Thanks, Becky.
About the risk and safety assessment piece, a lot of agencies do some variation of that already. So it's going to be pretty easy to implement these things, I think, from the agency side of things. But what I would ask for help with is helping our county partners to also help us implement these things. And so I don't know to what extent folks on the screen can help with that, but that's something from the provider standpoint that I think would be helpful if our county partners could be helpful to the table. Lastly, I want to say that I really appreciate, and I know everybody on the screen appreciates Elizabeth being a part of this task force and how difficult and bold that is. And also Kevin Lash isn't on the screen, but I know that he also put a lot of heart into this and cares a lot about it. So I want to thank them in particular. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Kevin was not able to join today. I believe he's on a bike trip he's had planned for a long time in Europe, if I'm remembering his email correctly. So go, Kevin. Love that for him.
Yeah, it has been an honor to be on this group and to get to know all of you a little better. And I learned from everybody on this. And I also want to give a shout out to Doris, an amazing facilitator, a wise woman, and I look up to you. And thank you.
A wise woman, Doris. I love that. Ain't that the truth?
That's how I'm going to start describing myself.
Hi, I'm Doris. Very wise.
I'm a wise woman.
Lynette told me.
Thank you, Lynette.
Love that. Thanks, Lynette. I feel similarly. Appreciate the shout out there, Doris. Any other comments before we close out? You know what, Sergeant Cotter, I'm going to call you in because you've shared a lot over this task force. I would just love to hear any reflections of where we've landed, and I've just always really appreciated your willingness to come to the table and push our thinking from your perspective. And yeah, I would just love to hear kind of some closing thoughts from you, because it's just been an honor to learn from you and the unique challenges that you're faced with in your work. So wanted to just put you on the spot, if you don't mind.
Sure. I got to say, I really appreciated working with such a diverse group of people. I think the legislature and Stephanie put together a great group to bring lots of perspectives. I really enjoyed that I didn't show up to this and just be kind of stared at like, hey, you should solve this. They ran away. And instead, we put so much thought into why and how do we prevent? And when they get back, how do we stop it the next time? And I appreciate that we weren't able to come to all the answers, but I don't think any of us walked in here thinking that we would know everything as solid of a group as we are. So I just appreciated that I was able to provide my contribution without this expectation that I was going to suddenly, come here and solve this problem. So I just, everybody here was amazing, and they brought such good talents that I think we've moved the state forward, and I'm excited to see that we'll be a leader in the country.
Thanks, Sergeant Cotter. I love that you felt like you didn't show up and just get stared at, so that means a lot. Doris, wise woman, please jump in.
I appreciated the professional push that folks were able to reflect their own perspectives, listen and learn from other perspectives, and sort of push each other. I think that's how good work gets done. That people weren't so dug into, well, in the work that I do, this is what I would like to see happen. There really was this meeting of the minds, and not always agreement, but certainly an openness to movement from one's own position, and really this opportunity to collaborate and share and learn and iterate on what ultimately became the recommendation. So I just really appreciate everyone showing up in the vein of collaboration and allowing that to be the catalyst for what came of this work. That's it.
Appreciate that, Doris. Yeah, similarly, I'll say, I was thinking the other day about, I've got 7 projects right now. One is, or 2 of these are with CPO, so the Mandatory Reporting Task Force and this task force. One of the other ones I'm working on is the Property Tax Commission. If you've been paying attention to why we were in special session, that was my commission that led us into that. And that's the work I've been leading for the last 6 months, and it's a sticky one. And I just think that this has been a small but nimble group, and I appreciate, Sergeant Cotter, your kind of call out. A lot of different perspectives at the table, and a lot of pushing on thinking, and honestly, a lot of which, yeah, I'm no stranger to the pushing of thinking with our groups, but and online is hard, but we had to do that for accessibility purposes here for different folks in different parts of the state. And so just want to say, like, I just really appreciated our ability to show up and actually like wrestle with things. And again, particularly online in 2024, 2 to 3 hour meetings, like it's no small task, y'all. Because I have 2 to 3 hour meetings every Friday at the Capitol, and it's like sometimes I'm like, wake up. And these are in person. So just appreciate folks, and also 8 a.m. I was not part of that planning. I don't know if y'all were. I was handed that time, but that's a really early time for me when I've been dealing with the toddler since 5:30, and then work boom starts at 8. So just a call out too for like process, just to appreciate folks like consistency there. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Norma, jump in.
Yeah, thanks, Trace. I want to echo what you just said and really what everyone has said, so I don't want to be repetitive, but I think this task force, I've been a part of many, many task force as a provider, and this one has just been really awesome. Just the collaboration piece, the way we came about this in a really, really respectful way to everybody, the way that we came about it, really honoring how many people are affected by this issue, not just children, but children, families, employees, our communities, everybody. And I just think, I don't know, it was really just an honor to be part of this, and an honor to be a part of a task force where I feel like we really are going to push forward some good things, regardless of what gets adopted from our recommendations. Even if one thing comes through, we will all be better for it. So I just want to say thank you to you, because I think you facilitated us in a really just phenomenal way, Trace. So, and Doris, thank you for doing the same for our group. And I know Stephanie's not here. I said it last time to her, though. I thank her for getting this together. And Elizabeth, just, it's been an honor to have you, to just know you. So, yep.
Thank you, Norm. I appreciate that. Wow, a lot of hearts on my screen. Appreciate the love there. Yeah, we spent a lot. It's funny, we did spend a lot of time in like subcommittees there for many, many months. So Doris, it's fun. It's like I kind of got my crew and you've got your crew on some of those things. So love it. All right, y'all. Anything else for the good of the group? Wow. All right, wise woman. It was a very sincere comment, but I'm just gonna like take it and turn it and twist it. All right. So again, a lot of appreciation. This report is currently being written, revised, a lot of eyes are on it, and first and foremost are your recommendations. So again, so appreciate all the work you have put into this. You know, we said in the report we're open to if anybody would like to tap into this group for additional, you know, work to that is an opportunity, or members from this group. So TBD on what's coming up. That's what the kids say, for to be determined. So we will let you know, but certainly please be in touch. And the report will go live on October 1st to the legislature. And so we will get that out to you ahead of time. And as always, if you have any questions, you need anything, Norma, I'm seeing your hand back up. You want to jump in again?
Oh, sorry, I never put it back down. But when is that happy hour?
I'm gonna send out a note. I'll send out a doodle poll, and if people are interested, then people can select in. But I think it'd be cool just to get together, something super informal. I'm a decent time at 5 o'clock, so I'm sure a number of you are as well. So yeah, I'll send it out, and then folks that are interested jump in. I think it'd be fun. All right, and also just remembered, I don't see any requests for public comment, but are there any requests for public comment before we close this group out? Okay.
Can we share what you just went through with all the voting? Do we have that, first of all?
Yes, we will. Well, it's going to be captured in the report. Is that, yeah, because and Becky, I'm happy to, if you need something ahead of then, let me know. I'm happy to just send you the numbers in the final, but we're going to spell it out. Hi, buddy. He's like, wrap it up. We're going to spell it out in the report with the voting. So just like I just did, obviously it'll be done a little bit better in writing, where you see each recommendation, where the voting landed. And we also see the who, you know, who abstained, who said no, who said yes, any comments from no, the letter of abstention, those sorts of things. So that'll all be spelled out, hopefully crystal clear in the report. But Becky, yeah, reach out if you need anything in advance of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, y'all. Well, we will follow up with strict happy hour instructions should you be interested in joining. Otherwise, a lot of gratitude. If you're ever in Denver, for those of you out and you want to get together, give me a shout. Would love to meet up with folks that are across the state. A lot of gratitude to y'all. Always feel free, like you can reach out with any questions, and we'll be in touch with the final report in the next few weeks. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, y'all, take care.